Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's the guy who goes with him and like, yeah. See, I can picture him in the animated version where he's like, where they went to the watchtower to steal the Mars armor.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of Young Justice, did you actually watch all of it, Dave?
Yeah, I watched both seasons.
Yeah.
I was hoping there was going to be a third season.
I don't believe
they
there
cancelled
is.
it.
Yeah. There was like the problem was between the first and second season, you had to read the comics. So, just like, what? Okay. To make any sense of what was going on. They skipped like 2 years. Like at that point, like Robin went to become Nightwing. A couple of the people who were dating broke up for one reason or another. They never really tell you until the end. It was crazy.
Todd's dead in that series as well.
Well, Todd's dead in every series.
How they got like a Jason Todd?
When was Jason Todd ever like alive in that series?
Before they voted him. Before they voted him dead.
When you get into season 2, he's already dead.
I don't remember him ever being alive. Yeah, but they just jump to Tim. They never say Todd ever existed. You can't
they do. They
that...
show you in that episode, in the remembrance episode.
Oh, well. All right.
Remember her? Basically, they're checking out.
Obviously, I don't remember.
Artemis's like memorial thing, and then like right next to Artemis's memorial thing is another Robin, but it's not Nightwing, nor is it Tim Drake. So it has to be Todd.
Okay, yeah. Do you watch Teen Titans Go?
No.
Sucks. I have to admit I've seen a few episodes because my nieces are into that show.
I've seen all of them. Yeah, at first you're just like, this is a horrible travesty towards DC characters. It's just terrible. After a while though, when you're just like, all right, let's see how stupid this really can get, and it gets really dumb.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And
ridiculous.
There's been a few times where they'll do like a pop culture reference where I'm like, that's
well, it's like Cyborg. He's obsessed with the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, when he gets the power of the ring, the green ring, he pulls up like the Golden Girls to be like their weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, really?
So
okay.
Remember the Golden Girls? That was such a great show.
It was. So we're out of quests there, Quantum, in case you hadn't noticed. So I think we have to have that Rebel one. So we need to find out where we got that from.
Did you ever watch the Golden Girls, Phoenix?
I did.
Rose is my favorite. It's such a ditzy woman.
Well, it's Betty White, of course.
Yeah.
Betty White. I liked all of them. They were all really good.
Who was
an enjoyable show.
What's all their names, right? So there was Rose.
There was Rose.
Blanche.
Dorothy.
Yep. And then what was
what was the old woman's name?
Her name was Ma. They call her. B. Arthur's character called her Ma, but
she was the youngest actually. Did you know that?
She was. Yeah.
Was she really?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was the youngest. Insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good show. My mom was pretty addicted to it, and I have to admit I watched a ton of it. And
well, it was a good show because it was pretty light on everything. It wasn't it was a lot of satire, but that was it. Which is good.
Yeah. And
a lot of good-natured kind of poking fun at each other, but nothing usually too mean.
Right. Yeah.
It was all mostly, like you said, good-natured kind of ribbing and teasing, and
the first version is Sex and the City. That's what it was.
The first version? Yeah. Well, I suppose
it was in a lot of ways if you think about all of Blanche's storylines.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's true.
Yep.
And then getting together and eating their cheesecakes, talking about all of their
escapades in their days.
Exactly.
Yep.
Telling you, it was the first Sex in the City.
Yep. Don't think there's any quests down here, but I'm just basically running. We're just going back to any place we've been with quests.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So should have had you keep that quest. We could figure out where it came from. So.
I still have it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I just don't know how to track it. I mean, how do I track it backwards?
If you look at the quest itself and read it, does it actually say who it came from? Like,
if you want to get a boulder in there, you can use my own patented boulder in a box. Normally, I just go sell you one up front, but I'm fresh out of materials. So it sounds like somebody, like a goblin.
yeah, which means you
Earth elementals have been popping up on the peak directly south of town. They're a good source of rubble if you bring me back. So someplace in town that I think I got it.
Huh, which is weird because I was there and didn't. Well, you know what? In that case, let's hearth back to the town.
Man, I got so much stuff.
I know. I'm just selling a bunch of it just because I'm.
Well, I'm gonna. I mean, when we're done here, I'm gonna just. I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna.
See, I don't see any quest givers anywhere in town.
See here. I got one here from the innkeeper.
Oh, yeah, I think I may have found it. There's one here across the way here from Lilith. Nope, I got Hammer Time. From Lilith.
Hammer Time.
Well, let's see. It's silver. See, that's over here by me.
Oh, never mind. I got it. You had to do the Hammer Time one, which is go out and talk to the goblin outside.
Okay.
Now I have Rubble Time.
Okay. Let's go get some rubble.
We'll get some rubble. Okay. So yeah, because the innkeeper, her exclamation point is gray, so apparently we're just shy of the level needed to get hers. So. All right.
Remember, people, comment and we'll get done faster.
10
Maybe
comments.
10 comments
From different
people that we don't know.
Can the same person make 10 comments?
Nope.
No, I'm gonna say no.
So that's
You
cheating.
didn't say that first, though. So
I
you
did
didn't
not.
make that
You are
confirmation.
correct, ma'am. You are very correct. I did not say to make that indication beforehand. But I believe in the spirit of the intent, which doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Spirit of the statement. There we go.
The intent of the statement.
Yeah, that too.
The intent of the spirit of the statement. The spirited intentional.
Dude, why are you trying to fight the enemy, not me, you ding-dong?
I thought she was gonna yell at Xavier. Like, wow, what would he do?
Oh, no.
Okay, yell at
Just
me.
one of these random event things that happen, and one of the guys came up and started trying to swipe at me, and I'm like, I'm not the enemy. Get over there and fight the enemy. I'm
boom,
trying
boom,
to
boom,
heal
boom,
you.
boom, 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 boom.
Ding-a-ling.
And I started just spamming buttons now.
My ding-a-ling.
Thank you. I was going to start singing
ding-a-ling.
that.
I want you to play.
This presentation is over.
When The Simpsons was still funny.
Yep.
Well, it's one thing I like about The Simpsons. I mean, it's been on for so long that it's gone from, hey, we're from the 80s, and, you know, they're talking about, like, Nintendo and stuff, too, and now they all have tablets and cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And what's really kind of obnoxious, though, is if you think about it, so Homer's supposed to be 38, right?
What?
That's how...
Yeah,
How is he
along the
38?
lines, aye.
He's supposed to be... Well, that's what he's supposed to be. That's how they've said a number of times he's a 38-year-old.
Huh.
And I'm just like, okay, if he's 38 and Bart's 10, that means that they had Bart when he was 28. Supposedly they had Bart when they were just out of high school, or even just before that.
Mm-hmm.
So Homer and Marge should be in their mid-20s. But Homer's supposed to be 38. So I'm just like, well, okay.
Well, when you've got 20 some odd years worth of shows, little inconsistencies are going to pop up here and
Yeah.
there.
And there are some really good. I mean, I haven't watched it in probably 5 years, honestly, though, so I can't say what the new ones are like.
Yeah, me neither. Alright,
Did anybody watch that episode of Family Guy where, like, Quagmire and Peter Griffin, like, make their own little band?
They did that a couple of times.
No, they haven't.
They make their own band?
Well, it's just like them two, and they both play acoustic guitars.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
This is hilarious. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? It's so freaking good. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? If you haven't, then I think you should.
oh dear.
That's oddly catchy. I dislike the fact that that's catchy.
I can't remember how the rest of it went.
No, I don't put butter on a Pop-Tart because that's silly.
I've never actually put butter on a Pop-Tart.
No.
It is silly.
When I think butter, I think Homer Simpson's pancakes.
Well, I think. See, I don't know. I just remember when it comes to Homer. I just remember when he did the he had the rice cake, and she's like, it's only 35 calories. And then he's like, you can put a little something on there if you want.
Flavor. You put a little something on there for taste, and he just piles his stuff on top
only
of it.
35 calories, and he's got like 37 layers of cheese and meats and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I laugh.
Well, he's the same guy. He's like the same. It's the same point where he's like pancakes Homer style. Is he takes a pancake and wraps it in a stick of butter around it.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
And then he eats it. You're just like, okay. I always love how these treants die, like because they're just like you cut them in half and they're just like, oh, what's going on? Oh my God, I'm falling over.
Going down, timber. Oh, that one was dramatic. It like spun around.
Fresh cut frostwood. That's a new one.
Yep. Must be must be one of the newfangled quests.
Maybe. Yeah. So. Saturday, I worked. Last Saturday morning, I worked and then went to see Deadpool, and then came back and then promptly spent 4 hours crafting things.
That sounds right. Yeah. Yep. Saturday. Saturday was the X-Wing tournament.
Yeah. Yep.
How'd that go?
Amazingly well. Somehow I came in 5th out of like 17 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's really impressive.
I
blame Gilgamesh.
I guess you could, but I mean, I only played like 2 or 3 games against him before we went to the tournament.
Yeah, but he has us thinking in very specific ways.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, the game is there's a little bit of math hammer to it, but it was just like my first game. I got completely blown out, which is what I was expecting. But honestly, I was there just for the fun of it, and also because for a $5 entry fee, you got a card that would cost you $25 on eBay, or $40 if you bought the actual pack it comes in. Yeah. So pretty much everybody there was like, "Can I get my card? Can I get my card? Can I get my card?"
All right, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Yeah, well, we had one guy who was literally he's like, "I'm going to be here," and then my wife said at 4:00 I need to be home to help make supper. So he literally played like 2 rounds and then dropped out.
Yeah.
We need 2 more. And so my first round, I got completely blown out because I was playing a very solid list and I flew like an idiot. Second round was against a guy who I felt kind of bad for because he played this list. I think he played 12 games of that list and had never won. But to be fair, it wasn't a very good list, and he didn't fly it very well. So
yeah, it sounds an awful lot like you remember that guy from the Warhammer tournaments, the one that played the Ultramarines?
Yes, Leaf was it? Yeah,
Leaf, I think Leaf. Great guy, very nice, but he liked playing lists that had very few models.
Yeah. So, but that one, they
were painted really well, though.
They were painted really well, yeah. So that one I actually pulled out a narrow win. It came down to, like I had 1 ship, he had 1 ship, and my dice were slightly better than his. Third game was a comfortable win. I was going up against 4 A-wings and against my 2 ships, but I had quite a bit of firepower, and so I was able to kind of chew them apart. Because he got a little more grouped up than I think he wanted to, and I got the Millennium Falcon right in the middle of them.
There you go.
And then the last game was actually a max victory. I didn't lose either of my ships, and took him off the board. But it helped me that we were both so super tired that we were both kind of making some mistakes, but he flew one of his ships off the board.
Oh no!
Yeah. But what's funny is there was a 4-round tournament that started at 1:00 in the afternoon, and each tournament was 75 minutes. So it was already like 6:00 when we started this 4th round. So we would all been, in this room. It was hot. It was, little funky.
Those that don't know, doing tournaments for war games, it's oddly exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't move much. You're standing there, but by the time you're done, you are just exhausted, and you're just like, oh my God, everything hurts.
Yeah, and it's true. And we were joking around because again we were both ridiculously exhausted. And it was the day before Valentine's Day, and one of the things that can happen in the game is you can have ships that kind of bump into each other if you move into each other, since you don't know what the other guy is doing for their movement. So we were joking around saying that they weren't actually bumping each other; they were actually hugging because it's Valentine's Day, and let's not fight, let's be friends, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things you can do in the game is you can acquire a target lock on an enemy ship, which there's a token you put on your ship and one on their ship to indicate that this ship has a target lock on that ship. Well, the icon that the guy put on my Millennium Falcon, which is piloted by Chewbacca, was LL, and we joked around that meant lots of love. So he was giving Chewie lots of love. And then right before the game ended, he took that. He changed his target lock from the Millennium Falcon to my other ship, and I went, "Oh, wait a minute! You're taking the love away from Chewie. Now he's a lover scorn. You've now pissed off the Wookiee." Immediately after that, I whip my ship around and I shoot at him, and I roll 4 dice to attack. I got 4 hits, and there was no way for him to dodge that, and the ship blew up, and I won.
Oh man!
So I'm like, see,
ouch.
that's what happens when you piss off the Wookiee.
Yeah.
So we were losing our minds laughing so hard.
Yeah. Well, at the end, your mind's just.
Yeah, we were just like,
Xavier and I, we used to do a lot of tournaments for Warhammer,
Yeah.
40K,
Yep.
and so that's kind of where we're getting it. Oh, there's a whole bunch over here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of quests. So anyway,
Actually,
so
we're
coming
gonna pick.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, no. We'll
So
pick
coming
it
in
up.
5th was kind of cool because it got me an acrylic range ruler.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it actually has like 2016 store championship on it,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, again, I don't know how it happened that I did so well, but it was a lot of fun to get back into the tournament, and the people that I played against were all really cool. We actually had like more people than they were really expecting, which was kind of nice. But it was a lot of fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing it again, and maybe picking up a couple more ships. I almost bought 2 more X-wings, but I'm like, no, let's get used to this list before I start branching off into trying all this other stuff. So, but
Does it only have the original series, or can you do
Oh,
the
no.
prequel stuff as well?
oh, it's got the there's
It
2
has
versions
all
of the
the
core
ships.
rules where you get an original X-wing and 2 ties. Then they have the Force Awakens core set, which is the same rule set, just slightly updated, and that one comes with the new X-wing and the new TIE fighters. But they have ships from all like the books, like they have Dash Rendar's ship from Shadows of the Empire. They've got all the different
Nice.
like Alliance and Imperial ships. You can have Slave One, Millennium Falcon, X-wings, Y-wings, E-wings, A-wings, Z95 Hunters, or the whole 9 yards. So basically, any ship pretty much you can think of from the books or the movies is currently represented, and I imagine the ones that aren't represented will be here soon. But it's cool. It's a very well balanced game that people are finding. Like there's a few power lists out there, but not many. Usually, it comes down to your ability to fly your ships, and to an extent, the dice rolls. But it's not one of those where there's one list that just raffle stomps everyone. There's pretty much a counter for just about everything out there. So they've done a really good job of, even though that there's a little bit of creep coming out, like some of the newest ships have neat little abilities. There's no like.
What do you
There's
explain
no,
what
like,
you mean by
I-
explain what you mean by creep?
Creep is most games have a tendency that the newer stuff is better than the older stuff to convince people to buy the newer stuff. So as games get older and older, and 40K is a huge problem with this, is every time they released a new codex or a new rule set for a new army, it was way better than anything that had come before it because they wanted people to kind of try it out and to play it. So you got to the point where if you wanted to win in a tournament, you basically had to have the newest army because it had the newest stuff, the newest toys, the best rules, things like that. This game seems like it's pretty much it's keeping everything together. Like you could literally have an army where you have Luke Skywalker flying an X-Wing, flying alongside Poe Dameron flying the new X-Wing, and it totally works. Not so much canon-wise, but as far as the rules go, one is not, quintessentially better than the other. But then it's all about finding those combinations of, like, this character lets me move a token from onto another character who can then use that token to get a shield back. Weird things like that. So there's these weird little combos that you can come up with between the ships and the equipment and the pilot. And that's really where the list comes from, is that finding that synergy that kind of gives you a unified fighting force. I know, so far it's a lot of fun. It's got a nice simple entry. You can buy the core set and it comes with enough to play a game. And if I think I picked up 2 ships and it was like, I don't know, like $35, and
That's crazy cheap.
crazy cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
40K is easily hundreds of dollars to get into nowadays. This game, I think, this game was the core set, Millennium Falcon, and E-Wing to get my favorite character, which was enough for me. Which is what I took to the tournament, and I think it was like $65 on Amazon. So, I mean, there aren't many games you can get into, especially games with models, for that much. So it's great for a starting game for people and the models are amazing. That's the best part, is like the Millennium Falcon I bought because the model looks great to the point where if I ever stop playing this game, I'm just going to put the model on the shelf because it looks really good. And it's the way it is with a lot of them, is they're all, for mass produced, they're well painted because they come painted. All you gotta do is stick them on their little stand and you're flying. There's no assembly and painting, which some of the purists are like, well, then what's the point? But for those of us who want to actually just play the game, it's basically you open up the box and you start playing. So I'm gushing a little bit about it, but
No, go ahead, gush away.
it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to be honest. So, all right. So yeah, that was my little spiel on X-wing the miniatures game. So
Go out, buy it. It's fun.
Yeah, it
Another
is.
one. If you're interested in X-wing, or any miniatures game, there are tons of places online where they talk about it. Your friendly local game shops. Look at those. You'll find those out there too. There are always great places to go and meet people and just have talk about like combinations of armies and who knows. Now there are other games out there. I mean, another very popular one is War Machine, made by Privateer Press. That's a hugely popular game where I am right now. And people will just play it endlessly. And in their case, for what they do with balance, they just make everything so overpowered it doesn't matter. They play the game. There's a in the beginning of the game, which are free. The rules are free, by the way. If you go to privateerpress.com, you can actually pick up the rules for free, like the full rules for free. And they're actually like the first 5 pages. They say this is a game about aggression. If you want to be namby-pamby defensive, go play something else. This is about balls to the walls. I'm gonna smash your face in aggression.
Yep.
And you're just like, okay. But so like I was saying, go check that out. They always very friendly people, just like your local gaming store for computer games.
Yeah.
So go check those out, and I'm sure at the very least you'll meet people. It is not a cheap hobby. I'm not lie to you about that, but it is a lot of fun, and you meet a ton of people and have a good time with it.
Pierre, what are you going to lie to us about then?
Everything is awesome.
That world peace will actually exist.
Yeah, world peace can exist. But so that's pretty much it for us today. Obviously, since we were pretty much standing in the same spot for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Look for, let's see here. Look for Phoenix as she twitches, because she's very good about doing that. Dave still hasn't done anything like that, but I know he wants to. At least he used to want to. And
Hey.
you never know. But thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being here and participating in this. I'm not sure if you call this a podcast or what now, but it's something.
Is it like a webcam? I don't know. It's like,
I don't know.
It's like a video webcast.
Video webcast, I suppose.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
Either way, it's fun.
Yep. So thank you all for watching, and have a great time, and I will see you guys next week.
Have a good night.
Later.